757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And welcome to another edition of 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. He is the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. It's almost time for Thanksgiving. Coach Young is ready for some basketball and all kinds of fixings, and it's your favorite time of year, isn't it?
Basketball can wait. The turkey and the pies and the mashed potatoes, gravy cannot. I cannot wait. So I wear my stretchy pants on Thursday, and let's go.
Here we go. NFL action from this week in week number, 12, 11? I forget. I think it's 12. We're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. Ravens won. Bears edged the Steelers. There were a bunch of games decided by 7 points or less, including New England beating Cincinnati minus Jamar Chase. Pats did have a key lineman go down with an injury. That could affect them moving forward, but the schedule's soft enough for them to get home field throughout the AFC playoffs. Ed, my big takeaways from the week, I want to get your thoughts on it. Number one, Jahmyr Gibbs. He needs to be talked about as one of the most explosive players in all of football, running and catching from scrimmage, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has 11 grabs for 45 yards. It all adds up to 273 yards and 3 scores as they rally past the Giants in overtime. Jameis Winston completes 10 passes of 20 yards or longer. That's takeaway number one. Takeaway number two is we throw you some more scores. Yeah, KC beat the Colts in overtime. They're trying to make the playoffs. Jags beat the Cardinals in overtime. I wasn't happy about that. The Dallas Cowboys. How about America's dream turning into America's team for one day only? They were down 21-0. They rallied with the last 24 points. I'm not sure what on earth Brian Schottenheimer was doing. Nonetheless, they have Brendan Aubrey. His leg is incredible, best in the sport, and they spoil it for Philly, which coughs it up a couple times, including one from Saquon Barkley. And the Cleveland Browns, they're not going anywhere. They're 3-8. But what about Myles Garrett? Are you looking at what this guy is doing? He absolutely eviscerated your Raiders. This guy is on the verge of breaking the sack record in a season with about 4 or 5 games to go. They sacked Geno Smith 10 times. Whew.
They were in the backfield more than the running backs on their own team were in there. I watched, of course, my Raiders have watched the game. It looked pitiful. And one of my takeaways is I'm very happy for Shedeur Sanders. He gets a start. I think he looked good. He threw the ball the right spots. I'm not going to get into all statistics and whatever, but of course, he's playing the Raiders. But I like that. Dallas, here comes Dallas. Watch out, Dallas. Knocked off the Eagles in that late field goal. Like you said, a lot of close games. What, I counted 3 overtime games?
Schottenheimer should have gone for the field goal on 4th and goal, but they avoid, a meltdown there after getting the lead. And, we'll show you more of the NFC standings probably next week. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth, but we do want to show you the standings for the AFC because it is fascinating to me here, Ed, as we look at it a little bit closer. You look at the standings in the AFC. New England has the inside track to the 1 seed. Teams that didn't win their divisions last year, like them and Denver, Indy, which is trying to hang on over Jacksonville. But you look at the screen here, and on the bottom part of it, you're going to see the Kansas City Chiefs. They're on the outside looking in. They did get that win. Pittsburgh now has fallen off of the division lead. Fair to say, and Lamar Jackson isn't the Superman he once was, but is it fair to say that Baltimore is the most complete team now for the 1-5 start? They're getting their defense healthier. They're the most dangerous in that bracket should they get in?
Well, they're coming on. That's the key. I mean, you look at the record, it says 6-5, but don't forget, you're right. They started 1-5. Baltimore, when they're on, their defense is one of the best. Lamar Jackson is a safe bet back there as long as he stays healthy. I like Baltimore's chances.
Yeah, I'm with you totally. Now, before we take a timeout, folks out there have to see one of the most amazing plays that you'll ever witness in a high school football playoff game. And it happened in Richmond between the Thomas Dale Knights and the Manchester Lancers. We'll be talking with Coach Kevin Tucker about it in a bit. But Vicente Chavaria Jr., a junior safety for Dale against Manchester. Final play of the game, Landon Abernathy, who we had on the show in the summertime at the ODU 7-on-7, just heaves it up. It's 21-all. Probably going to OT if his Hail Mary doesn't get caught. It got caught. Problem for the Lancers was it got caught by the other team. And then here's what happened after that. Oh my goodness, Ed. Your reaction.
What a run. I thought he was down in midfield. He reverses, cuts back all the way through. The announcer yelling, go, go, go. And then we hear a train. I'm looking for the train. It's in the end zone or whatever. And they made a beeline to the concession stand. The free hot dogs for everybody. Great play. Great play.
Yeah, and it made SportsCenter's top 10 plays. We'll talk about that and so much more with the high school football playoff brackets in the next couple segments of the show. You're watching 757 Sports Talk with us right here on COVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. And we welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk. Like, share, and subscribe to COVA Sports TV wherever you are and interact with us on the program. Oh, look at that. We got the turkey and pumpkin pie in the background in honor of Thanksgiving. Ed loves it. It's one of his favorite holidays of the year.
This is a good holiday for many reasons right here. Look at that. I can almost smell that pie cooking.
I know you can. Let's go through the high school football results from round 2 as we get ready for round number 3. Oh, son of a gun. I didn't put in the Rye Cove Chilhowie.
Yeah, you didn't put the scores.
Son of
cut.
I thought I updated that one. Who won that game? You know what? I'm missing that game. Who won that game? I don't know who won that game, actually. That's why we don't have that updated. It's my fault.
So far.
That's 20 seconds away. I'm just getting us, we're gonna cover it. So hold on. Bear with me. Here we go. Jackpot. Here it goes.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
And we welcome you back to 757 Sports Talk on COVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe and interact with us wherever you are tuning in as it is that beautiful time of year, Thanksgiving weekend. Ed, oh, there's the turkey in the background, the pumpkin pie. I know that gets you all salivating. It does for all the high school football fans worldwide and across the Commonwealth because we're down to the last 24. No, I'm sorry. We're down to the last 48. About to slice it. Slice that pie in half to 24 teams because we've got region finals. 8 times 6 is 48. Then it'll be 4 in each class to make it 24. I got my math straight. We start with the smaller schools here to begin this portion. Rye Cove beats Chilhowie 21-13 to avenge its regular season loss. And Eastside behind Mr. 2000. We know Bernie Mac's guy, Stan Ross, in that movie. Stan Ross, Who's the Boss, was Mr. 3000. Keldon Hamilton of Eastside's Mr. 2000 with 2,000-plus yards rushing, over 100 tackles. Eastside's unbeaten. They get Rye Cove, who they've beaten before. They're going to try to beat them again to move on to states. Unbeaten and get to 13-0. I think they will.
I think Eastside takes this also.
How about Region 1C? You, like me, had George Wythe over Giles. Grayson County lost in the state championship a year ago, 34-13 winner over Craig County, who had a nice year. Grayson County's offense is starting to run into form. It will give the George Wythe defense some problems, but you've told me you think Wythe has a great chance here. Good balance on offense, and maybe the defense steps up.
I'm going to go with the slight upset, Wythe over Grayson County.
All right, we're going to hold you to it. This one stunned us. Buffalo Gap knocks off Alta Vista 52-29. Last year, Alta Vista needed a fourth quarter comeback to knock out Buffalo Gap on its way to states. Didn't happen this time. And Riverhead's doing a great job behind Jackson Fitzgerald, knocking off heads on defense, running the football well on offense. They'll see Buffalo Gap. It's a 5-3 matchup, just like Region 1C.
Yeah, but I think this is going to be a little bit of a mismatch. I look Riverheads to dominate this game.
I think so, too. They won by a couple of scores pretty comfortably in the first go-round. Essex sees Rappahannock. Essex won the last time, beat them handily last year in the region finals. I don't see the Rappahannock defense stopping the Essex offense with thunder and lightning. Jaden Holmes, Demetrius Stewart. They might get some big plays from Kenneth Madison and C.J. Kelly, but Essex is on a different level, especially this time of year.
Yeah, ditto. Give me Essex.
A lot of controversy and stuff swirling around Big Stone Gap, Virginia with Union, with the absence of Coach Travis Turner. They pitched a shutout of Graham. You had the G-men, but that Union defense was stifling. They got 4 interceptions of the G-men, and here they are, unbeaten, getting ready to take on the Ridgeview Wolfpack. What do you have to say for yourself? Eat some crow with that turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes, Sir Edward. You were wrong, and I was right. Ha, ha, ha.
I would take it. I was wrong, but I'm going to switch and stay with Union in the championship.
Switch and stay with Union. I don't know how you switch and stay. That's got me confused. Brody Doyot is back. He had the shoulder injury. The Charlotte commit, all-time touchdown pass record holder for Glenver. They'll take on Gretna after surviving and advancing in a game that was right up your alley, 56-55, basketball on grass with the Hawks and the Buffaloes. Now the Hawks see the unbeaten Highlanders.
I'll stick with Glenvar in this one.
All right. To be or not to be? That's the question. Who will be the Region 2B champ? Strasburg sees Stewart's draft. The Rams won the region title last year, beating Poquoson in the state semis on its way to the championship game where they fell to Graham. I think Strasburg's on a mission here and gets it done.
I agree.
He agrees. Not much to say there. Armstrong, Poquoson, lineman Carter Jones just got offered by the Texas Longhorns. He was down there for that big game with them in Arkansas. Now the question is, can Braden Agnes, Bay Rivers District Defensive Player of the Year with Carter Jones up front, push the pocket and disrupt that Armstrong passing attack? They got a tall task in front of them on the road in the 804.
Yeah, this might be a little bit more for Poquoson to handle. I'm going to go with Armstrong with the possibility of changing it later.
Okay. You change your picks just like you do your socks daily. Magna Vista, Lord Botetourt, all-time passer in Magna Vista history with Simeon Moore. They've got Ethan Dukes and Lord Botetourt, Jamie Harless's offense. They're humming too behind Angel Rigney and Quentin Jones. First to 40 wins this game. That's what it feels like.
Could be, and I think Magna Vista will be the one to do it.
All right, Region 3C. You told me back on Halloween when I was getting trick-or-treating with Brad Bradley and his Pioneers outlasting Liberty Christian, 2-time defending state champs, 35-33 in a game that had 7 lead changes at City Stadium. They would play again, and here they are. Will the outcome still be in favor of Bradley's Pioneers? That's the question.
Liberty Christian is going to be dangerous. Could have a lead for a bit in this game, but I'm going Heritage Lynchburg to win out.
Feels like they're the more physical team. Kettle Run, the more explosive team here. They put up a total of 98 points in 2 playoff games. You know how much I love Zayden Burks for Skyline in pursuit of 3,000 yards rushing. They knocked off Culpeper. I'm not sure Skyline has the defense to slow down Kettle Run, though.
Yeah, I think overall Kettle Run's a better team. Look for them to win this.
Lake Taylor, they seem like the better team than Petersburg. It's their time now on the hardwood for Ty White and the Crimson Wave, but Petersburg's trying to knock off Lake Taylor on the road. Hank Slater's offense with Keon Johnson, Kevin Adams, Madgerald Clark, they've scored 91 points in 2 playoff games, and it might be hard to keep them under 40 here.
Yeah, and scoring a lot of points is not their forte. Making sure you don't score much is. Lake Taylor over Petersburg.
Yeah, they got that rush on defense with Kassan Heston applying the pressure too. GW Danville plays Jefferson Forest, which ended up rallying to beat John Hanley 14-10 on the road in Winchester. Forest brings the defense. GW brings the high-flying offense. What wins out?
I'm going GW Danville.
Ooh, are you? I'm thinking I'm leaning with Jefferson Forest in that tough, rugged defense. Loudoun County versus Loudoun Valley. The first go-run, it was Loudoun County comfortably, but Loudoun Valley had a little bit easier time in the semis than Loudoun County.
Yeah, but these two teams are real familiar with each other, but I think the county beats the valley.
All righty. How about Region 4B, where Dinwiddie got shut out by Verina? Oh, my goodness, that Blue Devils defense led by Jashawn Bull Richardson, the UVA commit on the D-line. It was great. A couple of touchdown catches by UVA commit Damari Carter from quarterback Caleb Weiss. They'll see Huguenot, which shut down Louisa's offense. Markel Dabney, linebacker, going to Michigan, leading that defensive charge. Charles Scott Jr. throwing the ball as a sophomore quite well. Evion Lewis, record-setting junior receiver. It's Huguenot. It's Varina. It's a showdown. They've met the last couple times in the playoffs, which Varina won, but this time it's on Huguenot's field, and it feels like Varina's defense can be the difference.
And I think that is going to happen. Doesn't matter where they play. Give me Varina.
Doesn't matter where they play, he says. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Phoebus over Hampton. How did this occur? 47-35. They'll see the Lafayette Rams, who knocked out your Smithfield Packers. It means you'll get some football guys back for basketball soon. Rams ran for 233 yards on the Packers, 122 yards in that third quarter behind the duo of Joshua Simpson and Breon Stokes. Phoebus, meanwhile, what a day for Tyree Diggs, Ed. What a day.
Yeah, I wrote some numbers down for this young fella because I didn't know if I wanted to believe it. 253 yards rushing by himself, not team, and 4 touchdowns as he found the end zone. Told you, I was one of the only people in the area to go with Phoebus over Hampton, and I'm staying with him over Lafayette.
Do you want to crown her an extra piece of pie for Thanksgiving since you got it right?
Don't matter. I already put on order to the local bakery. I'm getting 1 pumpkin and 1 doughy apple pie. Very little apple and a whole lot of dough.
ODU commit Maricus Banks was 7 of 11 for 228 yards passing and 2 touchdowns to go with a touchdown run, while Marcus Chapman had to run 22 times for 136 and 2 scores for the Crabbers. Didn't have the defense. I'm telling you, though, right here and right now, that Lafayette defense will not let Diggs run all over them like he did on the Crabbers. So don't be shocked if Lafayette wins that one at Warner Stadium in Williamsburg over the reigning 4-time state champs. Much respect to Jeremy Blunt and company now with 21 consecutive playoff wins. Stonebridge, their defense is lights out at, 7 shutouts, 5 in a row. They've got studs all over the field. Riverbend's offense putting up almost 50 points per game. This, to me, is the best region championship we've got, bar none.
Well, you got a team that puts it in the end zone almost every time they have it, and a team that stops you almost every time you have it. And I always say defense wins championships. I don't always agree with that, but I'm going with it here at Stonebridge in a close one over Riverhead.
Riverhead's or Riverbend?
Riverbend. I'm sorry, Riverbend.
You got your rivers all confused. You got Riverside, Nance River, Indian River. We'll get to them in a minute. Indian River, that is. And irresistible force against a movable object. Hermitage, Highland Springs. Let's get to that here now as we take a quick pause, because you need to check out this highlight reel play from the Panthers of Hermitage. This was to win the football game over Patrick Henry Roanoke at the very
Nene's pass complete to Andre Clark. Good for a Panthers touchdown.
Tell me what that pattern was on that last touchdown.
So it was just a little slant arrow. Quarterback told me go get it, and threw it to me. Had to go catch it. My team beat clutch.
You hadn't thrown them all much all day.
I know. We were just pounding it. We saw something, so we took advantage of it.
What do you think of the coach's speech there after the game? He got on you a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I was doing messing up a little bit, but got back at the end of the day.
So if you got Highland Springs coming up, it's going to be a Richmond battle. What's that going to be like?
Oh, yeah, we got to get out and get back. Last time was some BS. This time we're going to come out on top, for sure.
All right, thanks.
For sure, he says Ed Hermitage is going to come out on top against the Springers. Do you concur? Highland Springs a winner, 37-7 over William Fleming, as they got a big game on the ground from Jonathan Carter.
I'm going Springs in this one.
Enough said. You don't need to hear any more.
Don't need to hear no more.
All right. We go up to Region 5B, where it's Kings Fork and Maury. What a job by Damo Everett, the sophomore trigger man for the Maury Commodores. He's been clicking all season long, especially here in the months of October and November, Ed.
Well, Damo was dynamite, Damo. 14 of 18, 227, and 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. He didn't play no favorites in this one.
Yeah, Javon Wiggins, Damon McDaniel Jr., Tayshawn Branch, and JMU commit Elijah Moss Williams. Meanwhile, Isaiah Gilliam runs the football 42 times for 263 yards and 2 scores as Kings Fork is able to outlast the Bethel Bruins. Kings Fork wants to run it. Maury wants to throw it. But they can also run it. Can the Commodores and the Bulldogs throw it? Do wonder, though, if the Kings Fork defense has enough to keep Maury from hitting those big plays.
I think they'll show themselves early, but Maury's type of team just wears you out. Maury in that game.
Green Run, Indian River. They've met the last 2 years. Braves won it in the region final in 2023. Stallions took it in overtime in 2024. Lord Malik Carew, my goodness. The Lord said you got to rise up. You saw him. He's the reigning Chicho's Pizza Player of the Week. In this game against Cox, though, 21 of 27 for 339 yards and 4 touchdowns, as that game was close at halftime, 7-3 late into the third quarter. But when it was all said and done, all Indian River. A lot of people are, as the seed's wrong there, it's not a 2 seed, it's a 3 seed. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be Indian River knocking off Green Run and ending the undefeated season for Brandon Williams and Stallions. What says you?
I'm going to go with Green Run, but Indian River gets the lead early. They will be a tough cookie to crumble for Green Run.
Okay.
Green
Region
Run, close game.
Okay. You said Indian River in a close game or Green Run in a close game?
No, Green Run.
Ooh, okay. Region 6D, it's Madison and it's Westfield. Wildcats went for it on 2-point play. They lose it 34-35 in the overtime. Westfield 31-21. It's a Concord District rival. Feels like the team with the ball last probably wins this, as it's 2 evenly matched squads.
Yeah, this one I can't figure out. I can't really pick somebody in this one. I want to say Westfield, but something about Madison. I'm going to have to wait a few days to get this one.
And speaking of waiting, West Springfield, Lake Braddock, the Bruins of Lake Braddock have been waiting for West Springfield since they lost late in the regular season. Norfolk State commit Ty Jackson has been really running the football well to go with his throwing exploits at the quarterback position. Now they get another crack at the top-seeded Spartans here in the Occoquan Region Final. I'm thinking Lake Braddock gets revenge.
I'm going to probably go for West Springfield.
All right. Woodbridge won by the same margin that Madison beat Centerville, and they did so because of this play. John Brown of the Eagles decided to go for 2 at the end, and here's what – they went with the Philly special, Ed, and they didn't quite get it to go. Oh, my, a heartbreaking loss for the Eagles as Woodbridge moves on to see North Stafford.
Yeah, that was a tough one to lose, and I think Woodbridge loses this one, though. North Stafford, it comes out.
Good to see that you're not doubting North Stafford after you picked them to lose to Greg Hatfield's Bobcats at Battlefield last week.
I was against them early. I even told you early in one of our shows to drop them down in the rankings. I thought you had them too high. They have made me a believer, and I'm picking them in the regional championship.
And it's Oscar Smith taking on Thomas Dale. We showed you the memorable play by Dale against Manchester. Can they take down the Tigers with Lonnie Andrews III, Michigan commit Travis Johnson, and that smothering defense that comes at you from all different angles?
I don't see it. Give me Oscar Smith.
All right, so those are the playoff brackets. Coming up in the Virginia high school football playoffs. And speaking of coming up, Ed, we have a special guest with us next.
Yeah, we got Thomas Dale coach Kevin Tucker chatted with you after big thrilling playoff win over Manchester. And then after that, he has the upcoming matchup with Oscar Smith, and he'll talk a little bit about those Tigers.
That's all coming your way right here on 757 Sports Talk. You're watching Cova Sports TV. We have with us the coach of the Thomas Dale Knights, Kevin Tucker. Are you out there with us?
Yes, sir. I got a little bit of service in the area that I'm at now, so I figured I might as well log on quickly.
We appreciate it. You don't mind coming on early now, do you?
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all.
Let's talk about it. Vicente Chavaria Jr., we just played his pick six. It's one of the plays of the year. It made SportsCenter on the late edition Friday night into Saturday morning. You've been doing this thing for a long time, and I know you're a Dale guy through and through. What did that play mean? Because it's funny, we expect the joyous celebration. I think some of your silence was initially waiting to see, please don't let there be a flag. Does this hold? Is that what you're thinking as this thing's unfolding? We're not going to overtime. Let's see if this stands. Take me through it.
Unfortunately, last night we had quite a few whistles, inadvertent whistles. We had 2 on onside kicks that we recovered, inadvertent whistles. We had a flag late in the game where we had, had a big play, and just, again, like I tell the kids all the time, don't let the officiating control the outcome of the game. And our kids battled back, and we burned a timeout right there at the end. We saw how they were setting up. Our starting safety, who've been playing the last 5 weeks, Michael Bryant, who had a pick six earlier in the game, went out got a little dizzy, had a big hit, and he's got to come off for a play. So we told Vinny, hey man, you've been back there all year. You're one of our captains on the defense. Go back there and do what you do best. And Vinny playing center field, man, he went back there and made a hell of a play. And I'm watching. I'm like, please don't throw a flag. Please don't throw a flag. We had a kid on the sideline that had a chance to decleat somebody. And luckily he just put his hands up and kind of just got in the way. And Vinny did what Vinny does, man. He just made a play on the ball. And 99 yards later, the whole team was down the end zone celebrating. And I'm looking all over the field, making sure there was no flags. It was one of the best plays that I've been a part of at Thomas Dale and the 24 years that I've been there.
Absolutely. It's going to go down in the annals. Regardless how this plays out, if you're able to go beat Oscar Smith, win a regional championship, state championship, this is something that's a memory for that kid, your program, your coaches, players, fans, and community. And just touch on that a little bit more, because I remember it also brought me back to, I'm sure you remember it in the national championship in college basketball a few years back, Jay Wright of Villanova, when Chris Jenkins hits the shot against North Carolina, he doesn't jump up and down, because you all as coaches, your program to think what's next, how do you handle things, almost the hope for the best but prepare for the worst, right?
Yeah, because, we were going into that last play, and I'd already told my coordinator on offense, I was like, all right, start getting your, overtime plays ready. We've got a set of plays that we usually run when we do it every week from the 10 and in, offense and defense. And, we were already getting that prepared, and they threw the ball up. And normally at that time of the game, we've kind of taught our kids to just knock the ball down. Because I've been on the other end of it where the ball gets bounced up by a defender and my guy comes down with it and we've won a game. So when Vinny went up and I was like, oh, he's going to knock it down, and he comes down with the ball and he catches it, and I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And like I said, again, just one of those magical plays that, like I said, we're glad we were on that end of it. And like I said, we loved it, and just super, super pumped to have an opportunity to be practicing on Thanksgiving and get to go against my old college roommate, Chris Scott, again.
Yeah, we'll talk about that storyline here in a second, as Kevin Tucker's Knights having a fabulous year, 10-1 on the season, winning it on the 99-yard pick six from Vinny Chavaria Jr. here, our guest on 757 Sports Talk on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Before we delve in on the Oscar Smith matchup, Coach, too, and that play, if you haven't seen it, it's on SportsCenter. It's all over the social media. You can find it. It's going viral.
Oh, yeah, my phone's been getting blown up this morning on it.
It's incredible. 99-yard pick six on the final play of the game. Speak on this battle with Manchester, because for years, and I know you have a ton of respect for that program from Tom Hall when he was there, now at Prince George, to Coach Jason Harrell. But you've had some battles. You've come up just short against them. To lose, I think, the last 4 or 5, as I mentioned, in the postseason. To win it the way you did after they battled back in the game, it's got to mean a ton for your kids, the ones that have been through those wars and have been chopping wood throughout the offseason and now.
Yeah, 2 years ago, they came over to our place, and, we were having a pretty magical season at that time. And, it was Ethan Minner. I guess it might have been 3 years ago now. And Ethan Minner, it was 4th and goal. Instead of kicking the field goal like a normal person would, I went for the win. We were down by 3, and like I said, the ball just got tipped and just kind of fell out of the receiver's hands, and just one of those deals where just heartbreak. And then the next year they came over and kind of handed it to us pretty good. And our kids that were on that team, Michael Davis and Danny Lewis and Michael Flowers and Cole Lineberger, they remember them coming down and playing the boombox on the TD and dancing and celebrating, and just kind of that heartbreak, that hurt, and they just one of those deals where they just a little chip on the shoulder, to speak. And for 2 weeks, we had great practices. And I think a lot of that was those seniors that have been a part of those losses for the last 3 years, wanting to get a get back. And, to go up at halftime again, 21-6. We had two onside kicks that we should have had. We should have probably been up 35-6 at half. And, came out a little flat. Manchester battles back, ties the game up. And, our kids, again, never gave up, and that's the resilience of this team. And hopefully we'll have a little bit of that magic going down to the 757 next week to play Oscar Smith.
Yeah, we'll get your take on that matchup coming up with the Tigers, defending Class 6 state champs. But let's highlight some of your youngsters that have been putting in some hard work. Certainly, Vinny is now a household name with what he accomplished, but you have a bunch of 3-year and 4-year contributors, some new faces to the lineup this year, a couple of commits like you touched on. Cole Lineberger, I believe, is going to Navy. NJ Hines, who's committed to William & Mary. Tell us about the ones that have done it for you all year long, be it offensively, defensively, special teams that have made their mark and helping you get these 10 wins this year.
Well, I think it starts with defense, and we're led by our senior middle linebacker Michael Davis. Mike's probably going to end up at Air Force. He's somewhat committed out there. He's kind of he's got a couple of things going for him. USC is called, and some of the other schools, and they are starting to take notice. He short season last year with an injury, and his senior year he's been balling out. Had another monster game last night. I think he had 12 or 13 tackles. He's just sideline to sideline all over the field. The front four, led by Cole Lineberger, Xavion Brown, Javaris Tucker, Marcus Bird. I mean, those 4 guys are just a force to be reckoned with. Jamal Nolan, the other inside linebacker, and just, again, having that type of front 6 allows our defense, to bring pressure. And also, with the defensive backs, stepping up last night. I mean, we were going against some great receivers last night. Dexter Richardson, had, I think, 5 pass breakups last night. Michael Bryan had an interception for a touchdown. Vinny had 2 or 3 pass breakups and an interception for a touchdown. Jeremiah Carey, another, youngster that, made 2 great plays on the ball, late in the game to prevent touchdowns. Chris Ward, the other, corner I think he's leading our team with 5 interceptions this year. So, top to bottom, that defense has just gotten it done. And the offense has finally come around to where we're putting drives together. We are, able to keep our defense fresh. We're able to go out there. We might not score every drive, but we're putting together 6, 7, 8, 9 play drives where we're giving the defense a little bit of a blow. And then Miles Tyler, being able to come in and punt, and he's averaging 45 yards a punt now, and pinning teams and flipping the field is a huge weapon. So just super proud of the whole team effort and how well we're playing.
Certainly, as you should be. Now, I know you and Coach Chris Scott of Oscar Smith, who you mentioned, old roommates. You have a ton of respect as he does for you and what they accomplish. You brought up the methodical, putting together long, time-consuming drives. How much of going about trying to beat Oscar Smith is to try to play keep away and methodically? Give me your take on what you've seen from them on film and the matchup coming up.
So, I haven't got a lot of film because, I wanted to get over the Manchester hump, and throughout the year we've kind of saw some things here and there from Oscar Smith, but to be honest with you, we needed to get over this first hump first. So really going to dive into the film today. What I do know about, Chris and his teams, they're always well prepared. He's got a great quarterback who can put the ball anywhere he wants to put it on the field. He's got some great receivers who they just create separation. They are matchup problems. So our defensive backs are going to have their hands full. Our front 4 are going to have to get after him and make Lonnie, hopefully put the ball up and make the defensive backs, give them a chance to make some plays on the ball. I think their front 4 is just as good as my front 4. So our quarterback and our offensive line are going to have their hands full. And that's something to be said for a Chris Scott team. Their defense is going to be fast, aggressive, flying around to the football. And again, very mirror of what we do on defense is 11 hats to the football, kind of led by your front four. And if you got four guys like they do and like we do, you can afford to play, some bracket coverages and so forth, and try to give your, your defense a good pass coverage because of the front four making such great plays. So, like I said, we expect it to be a battle down there, and hopefully our offense is going to come prepared and ready to make a little noise.
Yeah, a little bit of the history between your program and theirs. We mentioned the 2009 win that happened in the state playoffs on the way to the championship under the late Vic Williams, and now the last couple times you've come up short against them. But it feels like every year now in Class 6, it's you guys, it's Manchester, it's Oscar Smith. You all kind of have that tradition and program from the summertime to now. I know you go through the Central District, and they play through a tough Southeastern District. But there's not a ton of secrets when you get here to November, is there?
No, when you get to December, late, practicing on Thanksgiving, you better have a good, strong run game because you never know what the weather's going to come. And you better have a defense that's going to be able to fly to the football, make plays, and create, field position, create turnovers. And I think both of our programs have that. And I'm not trying to get ahead of ourselves, but I really feel like who comes out of our region is going to be the favorite to win the state title this year. So, like I said, I think we got our hands full. I think they got their hands full. And, at the end of the day, the winner's probably got a good shot at bringing home that trophy.
Well, congratulations to you and your kids on a job well done. A heck of a performance. That pick that will live in infamy, the pick six on the final play by Vinny Chavaria Jr. I will say, full disclosure, we didn't pick you guys to win this game. However, I'm happy for you and your kids. I took a lot of flack from some people that actually said, you've got Dale ranked too high in your top 10, as if rankings mean anything. At the end of the year, we had you number 4 in Class 6, but you're here in the final 8 and a chance to get to the final 4 in Class 6. Go enjoy it. Have a great Thanksgiving. I know you'll enjoy practicing on Thanksgiving weekend as you get ready for the Tigers of Oscar Smith. And one more final thing. It is a 7 o'clock kick on Friday night at Beard DeLong Easley Field. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so it's going to be a Friday night game. Go support the Knights and the Tigers. Should be a fun one with the 804 against the 757. Thomas Dale at 10-1, visiting the defending state champion Oscar Smith Tigers at 10-1. Thank you for the time today, Coach. Enjoy your weekend. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it, bud.
You got it.
And now back to Matthew Hatfield and the evil basketball coach. Blast you, Ed Young!
And we're back here on Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe with the evil basketball coach, Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. It's time now to play over or under on 6 sports-related questions. We give you numbers. Ed and I will tell you if it's over or undy. Under, not undy. Under. You ready, Sir Edward?
Ready for the unders, not ready for the undie.
All right. 41.5 is the total for Nikola Jokic's triple doubles. He's not a triple single like Draymond Green. He's got 9 already in 16 games this year, or 17 games, something like that. Unbelievable what this guy is doing for the Denver Nuggets. The rest of the league's got 20. Nikola Jokic, the Joker. He's not appreciated enough, Ed. He is so great, and I think he's going to do it. The record is Russell Westbrook's 42. I've got him getting there. I know he's got to stay healthy, load management. The league's tricky, but I'm a believer. I'm a buyer and Joker. He's like Ivan Drago in the Rocky IV movie. If he dies, he dies. He will terminate you.
I'm going to have to say after all of that, and I would like the Joker, no. 40, 38 games, but not 41, not 42 or higher. I don't he'll cool down a little bit. Somebody will drop a pass and he'll end up with 9 a few games. I can see it happening.
You're drinking the haterade. You know that? You're drinking the haterade. All right. Number of unbeaten teams.
H2O, baby, is all I got.
No, it's haterade in there. Number of unbeaten teams that will qualify for the 2025 VHSL State Football Playoffs. We spoke about that earlier. You just heard from Kevin Tucker of Thomas Dale. All right. Right now, left at our Green Run, River Bend, Armstrong, Glenver, Union, Essex, and Eastside. And of those 7, 6 of those teams have beaten their opponent they're about to face either this regular season or in last year's playoffs. So will we have 6 or 7 unblemished teams in the state semis next week? Over, saying yes, or under, declaring no?
I'm going to go under maybe 4. I the 6 are all 7.
Really? Okay.
Even though I probably already went through the picks as we just did the segment, I think I picked them all to win. But that's just what I'm thinking. But I don't know. Now, first of all, of course, there's no matchup at 2 undefeateds because that's going to eliminate somebody. I mean, some good ball clubs here, but I'm going to stay under. I'm 5, maybe 5, not all 7.
I agree with you. I think in Class 5 alone, Stonebridge and Indian River have great opportunities. I'm not going to discount Poquoson. And at the smaller levels, I think the unbeaten teams have a better chance. But I could see a couple of the higher division teams go down. So I think it's the better play. The smarter play is under. Over or under 4.5 SEC teams that qualify for this year's college football playoffs. If you're curious to see, here it is from On3 Sports' Andy Staples. The latest bracketology with the playoff show coming up on Tuesday night. First 4 out are teams from the ACC, Big 12, in the case of BYU and Utah, Big 10 with Michigan, who's got an opportunity with Ohio State, the Buckeyes of Ohio State coming up. Right now, though, he's got 5 SEC teams in the field with Alabama, Ole Miss, undefeated Texas A&M, which plays Texas coming up, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma. So you got Bama, A&M, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Oklahoma. Oh, wait, that's 6. He's got Georgia in there as well. So he's got this one going over, it looks like. Easy, over to 4.5.
And I think that's going to happen. I think the very least going to be 5, so I'm going over.
I don't think there will be 6. I think one of those teams will be replaced from the SEC with Miami. Texas, I do think, has a great chance to beat Texas A&M coming up. Big question really is, though, what happens, what ACC team gets in there. But I'm with you. I think this is over. This is a pretty good one. Now, speaking of Texas, number of teams from the Lone Star State.
Yeah, that would be surprising. Under.
You're going under. You don't think there's going to be 3 from the state of Texas?
Texas A&M think is for sure. Texas is a question mark. North Texas is a long shot, though I think if they win their conference, they should be in, but that doesn't mean they're automatically going to be.
Number of ACC championships for James Franklin at the helm of the Virginia Tech Hokies.
So, by the time he hangs it up, will he have 2 titles, or will he have 1 title, or we have no title? I'm going to go under.
Under. You're not a believer.
He gets 1 in his career there for sure.
Okay. I agree with you on that. Exact sentiment. I think he's going to recruit the DMV, the Mid-Atlantic, Pennsylvania, and get some national level players. But when it's all said and done, I think he's going to max out with 1 ACC title because remember, you still have Clemson with Dabo Swinney, who will try to make a return and a comeback and a vengeance. SMU's got lots of money for NIL and players. Florida State, Miami won't sit pat. I think he gets 1. I don't see it being more than 1. And by the way, Virginia's still alive for an ACC championship. Did Georgia Tech blow its chance or what against Pittsburgh at home? Turnaround all over that defense. It was not a great game thrown for Haynes King. SMU's the projection from Andy Staples, but Tony Elliott's Cavaliers have a chance, Ed. They have a chance, which is all that you ask for this time of the year, to have a chance.
You can't win the playoffs unless you're in them. And they're fighting, and if they win the ACC, they're in. So until they're mathematically eliminated, let's push for it. Let's go for it.
We'll come back with some Week 14 matchups in college football to close out this episode of 757 Sports Talk. You're watching Cova Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Moving and grooving on this week of Thanksgiving with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield, and Coach, we have discovered some archival footage of you as a youngster, moving and grooving to some tunes on Thanksgiving. Let's check it out. Here it is. Young Ed Young. Oh, look at him get down. I don't know not the one you're wearing, though.
My Thanksgiving outfit, my Viking outfit.
I see that. A little strange, though. A little strange, to say the least. But
That's when I was little, so I can get away with that.
It's you. Huge week of college football while high school teams will punch their tickets to the state playoffs and hoist regional championship trophies. Bunch of squads trying to get to the college football playoffs. And the big one, it's in the big house. Buckeyes, Wolverines, Ohio State, and Ryan Day have had their troubles, Ed, with the Wolverines. 4 straight losses. They did win the national championship last year. Will things be different here in 2025?
Here we go. We're looking at a lot of rivals here. This is one of the biggest ones around, the most talked. Ohio State wins the national title, and all Ryan Day here is just get lost to Michigan 4 times in a row. Won't hear it this time. I think Ohio State has the personnel, and they'll take care of business. And I'd say maybe 2 to 3 touchdown win.
Yeah, much better defense, top safety in the country, and Caleb Downs are giving up 8 points per game. Michigan's won some games against average teams that were close, like Nebraska, Purdue, and Northwestern. Not happening this time. How about the game last year with Georgia and Georgia Tech on Black Friday? It went 8 overtimes. Bulldogs survived it 44-42 and not triple, not quadruple. 8 overtimes, 8 OTs. Haynes King is coming off a subpar outing in the loss to Pitt, but he is second among quarterbacks in total yards per game. Problem here could be the Georgia defense.
Georgia defense is very stingy. There will not be 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or even 1 overtime. Georgia by 21.
Now, Texas is 105th or worse in passing defense and rushing offense. They did get a great showing, career day from Arch Manning at quarterback against Arkansas. Now they take on Texas A&M with a quarterback that's earning his own Heisman moment, and Marcel Reed, and A&M has the number 25 rushing offense and number 1 in third down conversions in the country. Can they finish it off undefeated heading to the SEC championship game?
I think Texas A&M, Texas is going to give them a heck of a ball game and can possibly win this. This will not be I don't see no blowout situation in this, but Texas A&M, you played great all year to this point. This ain't the time to lose, and I don't think they will.
I'm curious on your thought of the coach from Miami, Mario Cristobal. Hurricanes have the number 6 ranked rushing defense, which means Pitt's not going to get the explosive runs they had against Georgia Tech in this spot, even at home. And Pitt's averaging a little bit more through the air than Carson Beck and the Canes. But remember, last year, Cristobal had the tough loss to Syracuse in late November, didn't make the ACC championship. It's win or bust time for him in Miami.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to show this some little bit of heat on him. They were picked to have a good, fantastic season. They're having a really good one, but not what they thought. Pitt, the last few weeks, has made it known that they're trying to get in this mix, but I think Miami does enough to hold them off in a close one.
So many good games on this sheet here. LSU, Oklahoma. We know the Tigers are down. Navy, Memphis has AAC ramifications. The Egg Bowl with Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss against Mississippi State. Oregon, Washington. Ducks trying to be quacking and go to the playoff. Iron Bowl with Auburn and Alabama. But that sneaky good one in the SEC is Vanderbilt and Tennessee because of the quarterbacks. And, that one has a chance to be maybe the best of the bunch, believe it or not.
You got Diego Pavia, if I say it right.
You did?
With Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt, they're a place that used to make jeans, and now they're one of the great football teams in the country. And then you have Tennessee with Joey Aguilar at quarterback, and he used to throw the ball for App State, little App State. Now they're in the big time. That's at Tennessee. It's a rival. It's a state rival. Rocky Top will be rocking. And I think most people go with Vanderbilt in this because it's a dream year. I'm going with a slight upset with Tennessee over Vanderbilt.
Are you? I don't even know if it's an upset. I'm actually with you on this. I think it'd be an awesome story for Vandy, but I watched that Tennessee defense, not up close and personal, but on my television as they took on Florida and shut them down for 3 quarters. And, by the way, Tennessee is number 1 in the nation in 4th down conversion rate. So just like A&M's great on 3rd downs, Tennessee is money on 4th downs. One more final game in our last 30 seconds or so before we sign off. Virginia Tech and UVA, the Commonwealth clash. You know what the point spread is for this game? How much is UVA favored by? Take a stab at it. Take a guess.
8.5.
11.5. 9-2 Wahoos hosting 3-8 Hokies. Would Virginia Tech love to mess things up for UVA here? They don't do it, do they?
James Franklin, they're the coach for next year, will be watching. They probably want to probably want to put on a good show, but UVA definitely needs this for a chance. So I'm going UVA in a close one.
All right, so it doesn't cover the spread, he says, but they get it done. So that's going to do it for this episode of Simplified Sports Nova Sports TV. Have a great Turkey Day, Ed. Get you plenty of fixings.
I would definitely have one.
While you enjoy the football. Gobble, gobble. See you later. Take care.